Today we're going to be looking at the god position 4 player Febby and how he dominates on Rubik. This guy's a god, and let's break it down. Your team does not deserve your support, but holy crap, do they need it? At GameLeap.com, we have hundreds of guides teaching you how the best support players in Dota secretly carry their games with awful teammates without them even knowing it. Start your climb through ranked as the hero of your team today by hitting the discount link to our special offer in the description down below. So the first thing to note is starting items, super important. For all you position 4 players, if you are a ranged hero or a heavily trading melee hero for whatever reason, Bassi is the item. It gives everyone in your lane 2 armor, including the creeps, making your trading insane, right? Because if your creeps have an armor advantage, you naturally will have more, which is good in dual lanes, right? It's good to have more creeps in dual lanes if you're just trying to straight trade, right? Second half to this equation is Faithbolt level 1. I swear to God, if I see another one of you Rubiks take telekinesis, I'm gonna rip my head off. But it's not that bad. I'm kidding, it is pretty bad. There are minute cases for telekinesis. I think if you're in a tri lane and it will secure you with first blood, that's great. Or, if a void time walks for a bounty rune, you happen to be GH and you want to lift them into a gush that Mind Control has prepared, maybe it makes sense, but usually not. By the way, this is the SEA region, so shout out to SEA. Comment down below if you're from SEA, because this one's for you. So let's pay very close attention to how he approaches the lane, because every little thing in Dota matters. If you don't care about the little things, you will not get better. Dota is a game of small things. So first off, what is your hero good for in lane? Because I constantly see people complaining about Rubik. Last hits, right? Instantly he gets a deny. Please, guys, if you're playing Rubik, do not worry about trade. Look, he casts Fatebolt to, to help out his Omni Knight, but his main idea here is to play for creeps, right? Look. Deny coming up, gets it again. Now, they can build a quick level 2 advantage. The lane is pushing into them, and he's gotten 2 denies, meaning that they will most likely hit level 2 first. That is a massive deal and can win lanes. Now, what I'm about to say I think is one of the most important things in Dota in the offlane. Now, I commonly see this misconception for even the highest of MMR players, where they infinitely trade with the pos 5 because it's easier, right? They'd be like, oh, this Grimstroke is lower than the Slark. But look what Febby does. He understands that the person they're trying to shut down is the Slark, not the Grimstroke. So stop hitting the Grimstroke. He does a very good job, once again getting the deny, almost another, but has hit and poked the Slark. Who cares? Stop harassing the 5. That is all I have to say. If you can implement that and genuinely listen to me, playing on the tree side of the carry, you will have more success. So a quick little Q play he does here that I think is another reason why this Bassi item is potentially broken. This creep goes under tower, right, and Slark wants to last hit it. And in order to kind of grief with how much damage it's going to do, he turns on the Bassi, but it doesn't actually work. The thing is, I want... Which sounds foolish, like why would I show you something that literally didn't work? He messed it up, because it has potential, right? He's going to go for the same play here, and in that case it actually did mess with the creep's HP, as it gave it armor, and as a result, Slark did not get the last hit. Now right here he makes a multitask play, which I think is amazing. So he goes over to contest this pole, which is a big deal, right? Contesting poles and stepping the XP, fantastic. He gets a little bit more towards his level 3, and he also checks for the rune, right? He spotted the invis down on the bottom side, which is really important, right? Especially if one of your mid laners has a bottle, this is a big deal for all of you position 4 players. And you notice here he's now going to consider ganking mid. I think a lot of the times this is a play you should stay away from in pubs, not because I don't think it has no impact, it has a place in Dota, right? But for the most part, you have to be very careful about this, because if you don't get anything out of it, often what ends up happening is that, I guess your mid laner lags and dies. But most importantly, that you're not going to be bottom. And once you leave bottom or your side lane, you're often going to lose a lot of XP, right? He almost got the kill there. Leshrac unfortunately couldn't get his stun off, or, didn't cast it. But you have to be careful about that. Regardless, he forces some rotations mid, and now he immediately runs back bottom and pressures out the Slark with a really nice Fade Bolt, and using his telekinesis as well with his recently found Arcane Rune. And I think this bounce play is what's important. You do not want to sit mid. If you gank mid, and even if it ended poorly, right, like it was a bad gank, the first thing you have to do is just get back to your side lane. Don't waste time. Don't just stand around. Get back to your side lane and start getting more XP and having more impact. So what I really like about Febby's play is his complete attention to detail and ability to create insane amounts of efficiency in a very short period of time, right? Here, he pops the shrine. During the time where he's popping the shrine, he farms this small camp. which you might be like, oh, well, shouldn't he get back to his side lane? But what he does next makes this kind of worth it, right? He clears up this camp to make sure it respawns, gets a stack off, and instantly off the stack picks up a haste rune, which he then in turn uses to run mid. Once again, his rune check is what allows him to have so much impact mid, and is able to secure the kill, pulling off a Yapsor there. So once again, now they're even forcing even more kills, as Leshrac is one of the strongest level 6 spikes in the game. So I really like this rotation, abusing the level 6 spike of his teammate, completely enabling his game, and now forcing mid tower even a little bit with this cart. Nothing too great, but just an amazing overall play there. Insane efficiency, and now he is level 5 at 6 minutes. And the next thing I want to say about position 4 that I noticed with a lot of 4s, especially pro 4s that I've been watching lately, is that the main theme that allows them to get farmed and keep their levels up is strictly predicated on the idea that they don't die. They don't die, right? He made a couple dangerous plays that actually could have killed him this game, to be fair, but due to the fact that he's been very careful, just through passive gold, you can get a good amount of items. He happens to have 15 last hits, 7 denies, a kill and 2 assists, which is really good. But that's hard to reciprocate, so the main thing is don't kill yourself that much if you're a hero that needs a lot of levels like Rubik, or you're a hero that needs an item like Earthshaker. Once again, the last time I'm going to talk about like kind of efficiency, but you notice he just pushed out mid, so he doesn't really know what to do, right? Or maybe he does, but like he just wants to be efficient. So instead of walking bottom and just, wasting his time getting there to hit the tower as a Rubik, he instead makes an efficiency play where he stacks, right? He doesn't waste time, which is what I like. I felt like the whole entire 8 minutes he was doing something. And that, I think, is the big separation between a lot of good to great players. And the last high-tier concept and super high MMR concept that is abused, especially in pro games, is giving a hero like Rubik 6. Rubik has one of the hardest level 6 spikes in the game, so giving him XP is a big deal. Leshrac is also a hero that has no problem rotating side lanes due to his ability to take towers, right, with his max die block edict, which is why I really like this Leshrac's build this game. I think he's playing it extremely appropriate, which completely enables Febby, right? So for all you mid lane players and U4 players, coordinate this, right? It's really good to even pick a mid laner who can rotate, and then giving your sort of weaker 4 the ability to get to their spike, and then almost become a pseudo mid laner for the early game. And yeah, it's kind of just this pattern for a little bit now where he just sort of shoves mid and keeps up his farm, and now he has a minute 9 level 6. Minute 9. And I push you all. Try to get your 6x10. I think I said this in the last supporting video, but it's really important, and I think it's a good milestone to reach for a lot of players who maybe are struggling to have impact or are sacrificing themselves too hard to actually carry games as a 4 or a 5. Because really, like, the only thing that he's done in a bit is shove mid and stack camps, which is, it might sound like nothing crazy, but it's really effective, right? It's small plays, but it's efficient plays that are going to help his team. Also, the second half is if he's not doing this and he's just running around like a chicken without a head, they're going to lose their mid tower, which is not good for map control. This upcoming play here is the most important aspect of Rubik in Dota, in my opinion. It's such a minute thing that just makes your hero so much better if you start doing this, right? I see so many players hesitate to like steal the perfect spell and they just hold it. But you notice here, a fight breaks out, they manage to pick up this Invoker kill, but most importantly, they're not going to catch this Mirana. He knows it, but he's literally selected his ultimate spell steal on the Mirana and gets the steal off, and this is massive. Now he has the ability to push out waves very effectively and have a lot more impact. Also, it gives you the ability to have 3 nukes in a fight, right? Because if you cast Starfall, your Fade Bolt, and then steal again, you can do up to like 900 damage if you have 3 separate 300 damage nukes. It's really crazy. And that's the strength of this hero, having 2 nukes. When you play Rubik, I highly recommend you pick him into heroes like Lina. You pick him into heroes like even Leshrac, or for instance, Mirana, right? All these heroes that have early game nukes or high damage spells that you can steal, which gives you a lot of impact in early game damage, because this is when Rubik thrives. This is the thriving point for Rubik. Like, sure, you can steal Black Hole, but I think this is what's more important and more realistic to see, especially considering you're going to have to pick Rubik a lot of the time first phase or even second phase. And this is his peak when you have 2 nukes. Hear me out on that. I'm super serious. Upcoming here is what I call a high MMR play. These type of plays are the ones that I think are genuinely high impact. There's way too many players who are like, my team didn't win a team fight, and I lost because of it. Like, no, it's because you don't even consider plays like this. Look, does he kill this Slark here? No. But the overall result is now that he shoves Slark out of lane, and Slark has to wait to heal and isn't farming. He's closing off the map, right? And this is due to his good start, man, being level 10 at 13 minutes, which is absolutely insane. That's what he can do. He can run a Slark out of lane. And as a support, if you can run cores out of lane, specifically the safe laner, you will have more impact in your